Kids from college will graduate this year and their first job won't be $76,000 a year. And we're praying for basketball players. Basketball players who Caitlin Clark made millions in the college basketball game, will continue to make millions in the WNBA, even though it won't come from a salary from the Indiana Fever. State Farm and all these other people that have jumped on board with Caitlin Clark, Nike or whatever, she's going to make plenty of money for playing.
And the longer this drags on, the worse it looks for those at the top who pushed it, especially the ones with safety nets, with alternative leagues waiting in the wings, with nothing to lose if the season evaporates. That's the unspoken fear simmering beneath the surface. Once players start signing, the leverage that fueled the spectacle disappears, and the spotlight inevitably shifts. And when it does, the questions sharpen: conflicts of interest, hidden motivations, whether this was ever about collective good or just individual positioning. That's how reputations quietly unravel, not through scandal, but through scrutiny. Meanwhile, the league doesn't have to rush. The battlefield has already shifted. This is no longer a debate about whether players deserve more. Momentum is fragile, and now the league has it. Ratings are up, attendance is up, media attention is up, and new fans are actually learning rosters and storylines. Nothing terrifies casual fans more than the idea that a sport might vanish for reasons that feel messy, internal, and avoidable. The optics are now on the other side, and every stalled decision only tightens that squeeze.
Willing to sit out if negotiations don't work your way, or
yeah, I mean, we're obviously fighting the fight, and it's more than money. It's kind of all the things, all the benefits. It's getting a little bit loud in here, but making sure that we don't settle for anything less than what we deserve. So we hope that it doesn't come to that point, but also we know that the platform that we have as players is really strong.
They're not going to settle. They're not going to accept whatever the league is just telling them if it doesn't make sense to them. We're not going to do that to these women. All right? I hope
This should have been the easiest win imaginable. Accept the massive raise, lock in stability, build on growth, and then fight for more next time, with leverage that actually exists. Instead, it's devolving into a standoff where the loudest voices are risking everything for a gamble they can personally survive. That's where the bitterness seeps in, not from the owners, but from within. Because eventually, someone is going to say what everyone is thinking. It's easy to tell people to wait when you don't have to. Solidarity feels different when you're balancing principles against groceries. The movement begins to fracture when it stops reflecting the needs of the majority. And once that first crack appears, it spreads fast. Right in the middle of that storm sits the player who helped ignite it, the one whose name is now associated not with progress, but with complication. Because when people start linking you to lost money instead of earned gains, the shine fades fast. This isn't about talent, that's indisputable. It's about timing, optics, and overreach. It's about mistaking influence for immunity, assuming the room will follow you anywhere just because it always has. The irony is brutal: the players already won. The numbers prove it. The offer proves it. The growth proves it. Yet the narrative risks collapsing under choices that are personal, performative, and dangerously disconnected from the reality everyone else lives.
Made a video making fun of people who are mad at WNBA players for protesting for more money. A lot of people said, Kev, you didn't even make an argument, so I will now. Here's what the WNBA players are asking for: a larger percentage of the revenue that the league generates. The main argument is that the WNBA is not profitable, therefore they should not be arguing for this. All right, let's take a look at that. And I'll agree with you. WNBA said they lost about $50 million last year. I can see that point. The NBA took about 25 years to become profitable, roughly 40 years to become consistently profitable. What helped the NBA attain profitability? Magic Johnson, Larry Bird. That rivalry.
But instead of cashing in, leadership kept swinging, convinced a knockout blow was still possible. There isn't one. There's only a ticking clock, a pile of unsigned contracts, and the stark realization that this entire saga could have unfolded differently, that millions didn't need to be risked, trust didn't need to fray, and a moment of triumph didn't need to become a cautionary tale. When the dust finally settles, nobody will remember the protest props, the slogans, or the grandstanding about leadership and priorities. What will matter is whether this era of growth becomes a lasting foundation or collapses under its own ego. And the most brutal part? The decision won't happen in headlines or sound bites. It will unfold quietly, contract by contract, player by player, as reality continues its patient, unstoppable course.